Okay.
Okay, good evening and welcome to our class tonight. My name is Janet Helland, and I have been asked by Bob Ives to teach a class specific to serving as a temple and family history consultant. So let's begin with a quote by President Nelson. I'm sure that most of you are familiar with this quote. The Lord is hastening his work to gather Israel. That gathering is the most important thing taking place on earth today. Nothing else compares in magnitude, nothing else compares in importance, nothing else compares in majesty. And if you choose to, if you want to, you can be a big part of it. So tonight, we're going to address three topics. First is, what are the responsibilities of a consultant? Let's see if I can, hang on just a second. I was hoping to get rid of this up here. And then what the resources are available to consultants and what the blessings of being a temple and family history consultant are. So let's begin with the responsibilities. So I've been called to serve as a stake temple and family history consultant. And my assignment is to serve as the Assistant Director of Patron Services at the Granite Family History Center. One of the best blessings of all of serving up there is to associate with more than 100 temple and family history consultants that serve there. They come from all backgrounds, all walks of life, different ages, all abilities in family history, but with the same desires to serve and share their testimonies of this important work. So I thought the best way to introduce responsibility is to listen to a few of them talk about what they feel the responsibilities of a temple and family history consultant are. So we will listen to them now.
I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert more than a few things. Okay, so yeah, as a temple family history consultant, I think it's good to, first of all, just understand the purpose of what you're doing, and not so much having to know all the skills, because it's just not possible to just know all the skills. That can just be built upon little by little, but to just implant in people that desire to want to connect with their ancestors,
and I get new ideas about how to bring those names to me and to us to go to the temple. There are lots of things to learn, and I think part of our responsibility is to help them to feel the spirit of family history work, which is for the hearts of the children to be turned to their fathers.
First of all, I think having the spirit with you, I think that's a big part of it, because when you have the spirit with you, you can discern and know how you can really help somebody.
We are working with our Elders Quorum presidencies and Religious Society presidencies with the family and temple and family history leader in our wards to try and come up with a plan so that we can help the people in our wards to be able to do that. In our ward, what we've tried to do this year is focus with our youth. And so we've worked with the young men and the young women classes and tried to have them have opportunities to come up to our Family History Center here and learn about different things that have to do with family history. They always love to do the fun things like compare a face and other activities, but we always try and help them to be able to find some of their ancestors' names that they can take to the temple and learn a little bit about them. So for me, the first and number one responsibility is to help people find ancestors so that they can take them to the temple, to help them discover their families, connect their ancestors to themselves and to prepare names for temple work, as well as strengthen their families that are living at this time.
So perhaps the most important thing from a spiritual standpoint is that I feel it's our responsibility to invite the members of our ward and the patrons that come to the Granite Family History Center to get more involved themselves in family search and in family history, and then to testify of the promised blessings that will come into their lives if they will follow what the prophet has asked us to do and spend more time, sacrifice a little bit of our recreational time to be involved with family history and on family search.
Responsibilities is to find those who need help and doing their family history and preparing others who have passed on to receive the temple of balance, which I think is wonderful.
Work here at this beautiful center that's been provided for us, and we help people to come in and try to encourage them on how to do their own family history work. And when we're not busy, we can work on our own genealogy. It's nice because for me, it commits me to that time frame that I'm here, that I work on it, whereas I might be distracted at home to do something else.
Well, I feel like it's, to help people do their family history. And it's, for me, coming here to the center makes it a formal calling, and it's a new thing every Sunday, and I can help people. Sometimes I go home and I'm so happy to help people. When they go to the temple, we always have them come and share their experience, and it's not just a name. They find out where the person was born. We have them find out the story or find out something, where they died, what country they lived in. So they're not just going and doing a baptism, just because they will watch out after you. They are our guardian angels, and when you get to know them, they get to know you and help you. Well, I think the blessings are being able to work with people one-on-one and help them find the joy in family history.
So wonderful to hear the testimonies of these amazing consultants. So let's just review some of the things that they talked about and talk about a few additional responsibilities. One of the greatest fears people have when they are called to be a temple and family history consultant is they feel like they don't know enough. So we've heard from our consultants right off the bat that you don't have to know everything. You don't have to be an expert. So that's one of the biggest fears to overcome as a consultant. We heard also that we're not alone in this work. First of all, when you receive this calling, you are in a partnership with the Lord. And there are also very many others from your ward and your stake and at a family history center to help you learn. So don't let that be a distraction for you, that you don't know everything already. There's a lot to learn and a lot of people to help you. In most cases, you will want to counsel with your lead temple and family history consultant in your ward, who have been in touch with your priesthood and your Relief Society leaders to know how best you can serve in the ward temple and family history plan. So your lead temple and family history consultant will help you with those responsibilities in your ward. In the general handbook, chapter 25 will give you a lot of instructions on what specifically your responsibilities are and some of the resources that are available to you, which we will talk about next, in the next section. And of course, learning how to use family search, that's one of our greatest responsibilities. And I have found just working on my own family tree has increased my skills so that I can help other people. So just dig in and start working on your 4 generations, and learning Family Search as thoroughly as you can. It will take some time, so don't feel like you need to do it all at once. It's little by little, line upon line, that we learn these skills. And another great resource is to go back and watch some of the past Temple and Family History leadership instructions that are given during Roots Tech. It makes a lot of difference to listen to our leaders and help us understand what our responsibilities are and what their vision is for this work in the church. And we also heard a few of the consultants talk about serving in a local family history center. We're fortunate enough to have a very beautiful center in our area. And like I said, we have over 100 consultants that serve there, and it's such a blessing to be in that center. If you don't have that size of a center, more than likely in your stake center or somewhere, there will be some space reserved for you to serve there. So that's a great responsibility to provide some of those services to others in your neighborhood and in your ward. And praying for direction to know who to help and how to help them is key in this process. So we heard from our consultants that prayer is just essential in this work, to have the Spirit help us beyond our own abilities. And we also heard about including the youth. Help them to have their own discovery experiences and their own temple experiences. At our center, we're very fortunate to have youth hours Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and we have a lot of youth that come, and they're trained every week on a new subject in family history research. I'll just give you an example how wonderful it is to include the youth. Last week we were up there, and one of the youth was up there looking for sealings for her parents to do, who had an appointment on Saturday night. And her mother stood up in sacrament meeting on Sunday and bore her testimony about being able to do those sealings. So the youth are such a great resource. They bring so much energy to this work. So don't forget to include your youth in this work. Okay, our responsibilities is to help strengthen families here and now. Testify of the blessings that come from doing family history work. For instance, in Sunday school just this week, we talked about what a great blessing it is to do some family history on Sundays with your families. It binds our hearts together and brings the Spirit into your life and into the lives of your families in your ward. Pray for opportunities to extend an invitation to an individual or a family who you can assist with their family history, and then have them act on what they learn. I also have a testimony of this. When you ask the Lord to direct you to help an individual or a certain person, you will receive revelation and you will be able to find people to help. And then minister one-on-one. Once you've received that revelation, make a plan to help that person that you have been inspired to help. And I think all of us who have served as consultants for a time will know that the best way to do this work is sitting next to someone and evaluating what their needs and their desires are. Ministering one-on-one is a very powerful way of doing this work and the most effective. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what some of the resources are available to consultants. And we're going to listen to our consultants one more time as they share some of the resources that are available to them.
We've been working in Family Search, and I love the way we have the connection with those people at Family Search who are almost every day adding new things to the things we can share with the people with whom we
need to love family history. You need to love Family Search before you can do that. So I am so excited that they've added a lot of activities that the children can do. They've made it easier to use. It's more computer friendly. But to see when I have had ward members come and say, I took the name to the temple that you helped me find. I mean, I just hug them and want to cry and say, this is worth everything.
But it's hard to do research if nobody's indexed the records. It's totally impossible. And so I really think everyone should take some time. Maybe you don't have to do 40 batches all at once. One batch at a time.
But also, the Family History Guide is wonderful. It's answered every question I've ever had.
We have such great people with whom we work. And that has been a big, important part of the growth that I've felt and that we have been able to share as a group, both consultants and those who come looking for knowledge and understanding of the work.
So we heard from our wonderful consultants about some of the resources available to us. Let's start with Family Search. Let's see. There we go. So if we go to Family Search, let's see, I'm going to bring this over here. There we go. Let's get, okay, I had this working so beautifully early on. Here we go. Okay, excellent. Okay, so Family Search. I just wanted to show you some specific things on Family Search that are helpful to consultants. So up here in the corner, you've got a question mark with a circle around it. If you will tap on that, and this is going to be after you have logged into your Family Search account. Down here, excuse me, at the bottom is called Helper Resources. Just tap on the Helper Resources. And on this page, excuse me, on this page, you're going to have some things that are specific to consultants. So what's new on Family Search is going to keep you apprised of the latest things that are happening on the Family Search site. You can see that new records have been added here. Then the Family Search community. This is a good one for consultants. It's going to teach you a little bit about the 1950 census, how Family Search can answer your questions. If you have an idea for Family Search, here's a group link where you can stay connected to others and collaborate and share ideas. Let's see. And then easy invitations. I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with that one. But easy invitations will give you a link to your ward family, and it will show you people in your ward that may need help with something, and it will be an easy opportunity for you to just contact that person and say, I see in your family tree that you need a little help with a source. And so that's a good way of approaching someone. Also, the consultant planner. If you want to help somebody and someone wants additional help in their tree, you're able to invite someone and then they can give you permission to look at their tree. I found this tool very helpful when I was consulting online, and we would do a Zoom meeting and share our screen, and then I was able to follow along with the individual using the consultant planner. So that's another great resource to you. Also, the Help Center is a great place to go. And then also, if you have questions, just to make sure you can type your questions in here and get that help that you need. Let's see, I just wanted to make sure. Oh, yes. And then down here, under calling information, it will give you a link to your calling, how you can have personalized family history experiences, and also Roots Tech. These are those leadership sessions that you can go and access and rewatch and be inspired and instructed by those. Okay, so that is Family Search. The next one is the Family History Guide. We heard one of our consultants say that he's never had a question that he's had that hasn't been answered by the Family History Guide. We at the Granite Family History Center love the Family History Guide. It is an incredible tool in doing family history. And for consultants specifically, when we're training consultants at the center, I like to take them up here to the Family Search tab. And I encourage them to go through projects number 1, Family Tree, number 2, and number 5. Generally, when you're consulting with families or individuals, they want to know something about their family tree. They are very excited to add pictures or memories, documents, stories to their family tree. So you will learn here how to do that in Family Search. And then indexing, of course, is always a fun one for families and the youth to get involved with. And then once you've become familiar with those, of course, you'll want to go back and learn about descendants and discover and try to become familiar with all of them. But in my opinion, I think the numbers 1, 2, and 5 are a very good starting point for new consultants. And if you will go through these exercises, you'll become very proficient in using Family Search. The other great thing about the Family History Guide, I'll just say that family history is changing a lot, but the Family History Guide keeps up very, very well. So you'll have current, up-to-date information from here. Okay. The next one, and I would say that these next few that I'm going to be talking about, you could consider them as your continuing education. The Family History Library is a great resource here. If you'll go up to this tab here, Learning Resources, it's going to give you some really great links for additional classes and webinars. The Learning Center, that's past recorded classes that they do there. Learn how to use the wiki. And again, here's a link to the Roots Tech videos that are also very helpful. And they are available all year long too. So that I'm so grateful that Roots Tech has made that available to us. Okay. I will also let you know about our Granite Family History Center website. The classes that we teach here at this center have been recorded. So if you'll go to our tab Resources and go to Videos and Tutorials, any past classes that we have done on a Tuesday evening are recorded and uploaded to our website. So let's say you want to learn a little bit more about using the Family History Guide. You can go here, tap this link, and it will take you to the class that was recently taught about using the Family History Guide. There are a lot of really great classes. Come Follow Me is a companion study to our Sunday school curriculum. Photos and Family History, you can see that there's a lot, and the list goes on. This is not, there's probably 3 or 4 pages of these. So I would recommend to you, if you want to watch a class on indexing or one of these things, to come to our website. It's just thegranitefhc.com. It's free and it's accessible wherever you are. Okay, then the BYU Family History Library, another great resource for consultants. You can see they've got webinars. I'm a very big fan of a few of the teachers on here. They teach wonderful, very basic classes that are easy to follow, and you can glean a lot of information from there. And then, of course, they have all these basic family history tutorials. That's a very helpful one as well. And then if you just want to organize something fun, let's say you're getting together with a family and you want to inspire the family on how to kindle that flame of doing family history, I would recommend this BYU Family History Technology Lab. They have a lot of really fun games that you can play with your family. They've got some new ones. I was just looking into this one, Who's Your Daddy? That was a fun one that you can actually do remotely with someone. So that's a great one too. So this is a fun one to do. Relative Finder is a really fun activity to do if you have a group that's gathered together. So these I would consider kind of your continuing education after you've learned just those few basic things on the family history guide, family tree, memories, and indexing. Okay. And then finally, the greatest resource is you. In talking with one of our consultants at the Family History Center last Sunday, I was reminded of how valuable, what a wonderful resource you are in this work. And as good as the computers are getting and all the information that it's provided, and we've seen this with the 1950 census, how good the computers really have gotten at extracting some information. It's not perfect though, and this work absolutely needs the human element. It isn't the computer or our printers that take individuals to the temple to receive their ordinances. It is you and our family and our friends, and you are the ones to help our family and friends find these names to take to the temple. There's so many incredible tools available to us to provide the information, and it does get better and better. But it was me who took Erna Paulson to the temple this morning. And knowing a little bit about Erna, who lived in Norway, she was married, she had a daughter. She was a daughter and a sister. She lived her teenage years during World War I and lived through the German occupation of Norway during World War II. We have been given the stewardship to make it possible for God's children to make covenants with him. And in Doctrine and Covenants section 128, verse 9, it is you who fulfill the bold doctrine of binding on earth and in heaven, and doing it faithfully and truly, and keeping faithful and proper records. Your calling is vital, is a vital resource in this work. So what are the blessings of being a temple and family history consultant? I am going to allow our consultants again speak to this topic.
And I'm a big proponent of the blessings that come and how it changes one's life, their perspective, their outlook, their deepening of their commitment to the restored gospel, all by diving in and doing a little family history work that guides us right to the temple, which is where it all culminates.
And find their information, get them ready, or just have it cleared up so that your genealogy is correct. Or you print out so you can make a history book, or you share with your family, or for others that are looking at that. There are other people you don't know, but your family members that are looking at that.
I've had so many ward members. I've had the youth come and then talk with me about taking that name to the temple or sharing that name. And also when they get to know ancestors, that those ancestors then bless their life. And that is the neat thing when it's new, it's something they haven't done before, and they find a story of an ancestor that then ends up meaning a lot to them. And then it's just really fun, the fun activities. They find an ancestor that they look like, and then they can connect with that ancestor.
I'm much more aware of family history when I see things or travel or talk to family members. I know stories of the ancestors. I've learned a lot about where they lived, who they were, and it's given me an appreciation for sacrifices of my ancestors, but also open my eyes to the fact that this is a universal drive that everyone has. Even people who do not understand the gospel have an interest in finding out who they are and discovering more about themselves through those people.
So that's a blessing of increased testimony, having Spirit greater in my life, and then also just being blessed with gaining more knowledge over the years, because you help different people with different research angles and countries and just different records. And so you build upon that knowledge. And that's been a great blessing to me as well, just to gain more expertise in the field.
Blessings are quite obvious once you start doing it. And that's really the secret of being service. The people who come and are looking for their ancestors way through the temple. But it also brings satisfaction to you because you're able to help. There's probably no other reason for being here. You can help people. And then the sideline is you become better yourself. You learn a lot.
I will tell you the number one thing I've learned since I've taken this call. I've learned to be patient. I really have learned just to be more kind and patient.
Also, that the blessing in our lives is serving others and helping others. It's a blessing that comes to your life. In many respects, it's a double, because if you consider the people that you're helping and the people that are being helped on the other side of the veil, it's very special. It's very real.
Well, I think the blessings are being able to work with people one-on-one and help them find the joy in family history. I just want to give one example. The sister in our ward that came to our Sunday school classes several years ago, and she wanted to work on her family history, and she pulled up Family Search, and the only thing that was there was her name and the names of her parents. And when we started looking at her tree, she was Norwegian, and her parents had immigrated from Norway, and because of some different family situations, she had figured out a way that she could connect her family together. Because her dad had saved one little piece of paper, from that one little sheet, we were able to kind of put her very complicated family tree together. And she has really experienced those blessings of the Spirit of Elijah through family history. And being able to be part of that process is the blessing of being a family history consultant.
Well, the blessing of being a temple and family history consultant for me is to work with all these wonderful people. I hope that you have found something that will help you as we have reviewed your responsibilities and the resources available to you. And then stand still and see the arm of the Lord revealed, and watch the blessings flow into your lives and the lives of those you serve. I wish you all the best in being consultants, and hope that you will find joy in it. And that's the end of my presentation tonight. So thank you.
Great, thank you, Janet. Are there any questions for Janet at this point? Well, I'm not seeing any. Must be 100% complete. Just remember that you can view this particular training class on the website, as Janet mentioned earlier, under resources, and it will be available generally by this weekend up on the website. So thank you all for attending, and we'll see you again next week for our next class next Tuesday as we begin to wind down this particular season of classes. Thank you, Janet, and thank you everyone for attending. Good night.
Thank you.